Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And it is a bad day, week, month, year to be a video game journalist.
Yes, it is.
Another video game website shut down. This is the Washington Post website launcher has been delaunched. It's stuck on the landing pad.
Isn't the Washington Post the one that's owned by Bezos?
Yes, that he's thinking about
selling for sports team?
For a football team, yeah. Yeah, so...
a sports team would make you more money.
That's what he's looking at, right? Because you're worthless. The Washington Post is worthless. It's losing money.
I can't control the narrative anymore. Oh shit! I'll spend money into sports.
That's exactly it. So we're gonna talk about that. That's one. Okay. Two. Another strike. Here, speaking of video games, Activision, you know how they were going to unionize? Yeah, well, that didn't work out very well for them. It's not happening. Okay. Strike three, Vice, which, Vice did this hit piece. Do you remember this hit piece on manga?
Oh, yeah, where they accused everybody of being pedophiles.
Yeah, everybody.
They misled with the pictures.
Yes, everybody that produces manga is tied to child P word.
Well, I had that person go down into the place to buy stuff, and they had like blurred out images like they were bad, and they're like, but those
like it was all dirty images.
They're like those weren't bad images. Those were comics that weren't anything like that. So why did they blur them?
To make it seem like it was much worse than it is. Now, look, and again, I want to reiterate, I'm not defending a lot of the, some of the stuff that's, put out there in Japan, but what I'm saying is that they basically produced a hit piece. Vice produced a hit piece because it was sensational to be like, all manga is bad. The entire industry is corrupt. It's all bad. Now, at the end of their video, they spend several minutes talking about why you should give them money.
I'm sure they do.
And now we're finding out why they were begging for money.
Because everybody's buying manga now. I know. Let's tell them that it's all run by pedos, and they can all give, the P word, and they can all give us their money instead.
Yes. So let's talk about this. And look, we have been talking about for like 3 years now, that these websites are going to shut down. Vice is up for sale. They're hanging up for sale. So they were going to try to break it up, and nobody even wants the pieces of Vice.
Vice is not the P word. And by the P word, I mean profitable.
Yeah, it's not. None of them are.
The other P word, they could totally be. I don't know.
Yeah, who knows? So let's talk about this. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. Over 289,000 subs,
Yay!
Almost 290, almost 300.
Yes!
Help us get to 300. So Vice is a dumpster fire. We've talked about before that Vice might go up for sale. Now it sounds like they're going up for sale because they tried to divide it up and sell off individual parts.
I remember this.
And nobody wants to buy the pieces of Vice. So now they might fire sale the whole thing.
I was going to say, if they don't want the pieces, how are they going to buy the whole thing? How much are they going to sell it for?
They won't disclose how much they're going to sell for. Oh,
really?
But they have hired...
You have a list. Is that on your list?
Vice is not on my list.
Okay.
I have a list of sites that if they're cheap enough and I could get the money for, and I think I probably could make some phone calls and get some money. If they were cheap enough and I thought I could make them profitable, I might swoop in. But this is not one of them. So yeah, they said the sale process stalled out. Vice Media's board of directors formed a special committee to direct the sales process of some or all of the company. They were going to sell it off to this Greek media company. Media valuations are down amid an uncertain ad market, giving buyers more leverage during negotiations. Even the giants of the industry like Disney and NBC Universal are being tested by declines in traditional TV viewership and video streaming businesses that hemorrhage cash. Vice had made significant strides toward improving its culture and business operations since she joined. But when I walked
that's the lady that, Wait, who joined?
This person that they brought in is Ms. Dubik, but they said that they might actually sell it off in pieces. They can't sell the whole thing. Now they're like, they don't even know if they can do that. When she started, she said it's unclear whether or not the company can even survive. But they said it's not good.
They were to go public 2 years ago, but I think they probably saw the BuzzFeed
because
fiasco.
Of BuzzFeed. And
BuzzFeed tanked a lot of people, I think.
Yeah, so it's bad. It is really bad. And look, it's not just Vice. It's the Washington Post too. There's talk that Bezos is gonna sell the whole damn thing. He's already laying people off. They talked about this last year, and everybody flipped out because they're like, "How dare you? How dare you lay people off because you don't have enough money to pay them?" That's the freaking problem, right? Washington Post is closing Launcher. It's highly regarded video game website.
I never heard of it.
Yeah, I haven't really.
But then I'm not really a gaming. I'm not up on gaming news all the time.
Actual gamers don't go to these sites. I'm gonna be honest, and this is why they're dying. And what's interesting is there was some discussion. Now I'm not a Crowder fan. People are talking about this Crowder versus Daily Wire thing. Mm-hmm. He's not wrong. He said something.
But we don't know in regards to Daily Wire.
No.
But just in general, something we've mentioned many times.
He said that a lot of these media outlets do pad their numbers, but through advertising or buying views or whatever.
Which we've mentioned many times.
We did a video on Kotaku, and I'm like, given the low interaction with Kotaku on social media compared to the number of hits they claim to get, I suspected that maybe they were padding their numbers. I think what's going on here is that they can't really hide it anymore, and they're finding out that these sites are really in much worse shape than they thought.
Well, I know there's been YouTubers that were doing that because they were trying to. They might not have been able to monetize those views because they were paying to promote or whatever, but the more hits it looked like it had, they could go to advertisers and be like, "Hey, look at all the views and all the people we got," and that kind of stuff.
Don't do that because they also look for results. No, I have,
and it's nothing really against the rules to do that.
No. But there are, I do suspect that there are potentially YouTubers that have channels that maybe don't have solid monetization for some reason or another. Maybe they're using copyrighted material. Or maybe their content is dicey.
Maybe it's like kid focused or something like that.
Something like that. So they rely heavily on sponsors and ad reads and stuff like that. Well, the more views on average your channel gets, the more sponsors going to pay you, right? Because it could be the difference between getting paid $1,000 and getting paid $10,000. Mm-hmm. So and if you're like, well, I'll take a couple $1,000s and I'll just beef up my numbers to make it look like I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So, that's a possibility. That is a definite
people do
possibility.
I know websites do it. We told you before.
Absolutely.
You can buy pretty much anything. You can buy subscribers on, Instagram. You can buy them on, Facebook. It's not as easy on Facebook as it used to be. On Twitter, on different places, you can buy them. That's why when you see the people with all these followers and they have jackson interaction, it makes you go, huh.
So I think what's happening though is it's the facade is dropping. Like there's no way to hide this anymore. And I think a lot of these companies are probably like, okay, we're really hurting, so turn off the advertising, turn off the promotion. Well, if we do that, our views are gonna tank. And then they find out that like, oh, you really don't have much of an audience at all, do you? And if you don't have much of an audience, then there's really no future for this blog, is there? So
it's like a push-up bra.
Yeah, pretty much. It's like
I don't even know where I'm going with that. You're like, yeah, pretty much.
I get, but I was just thinking tits.
No,
tits
it's like
up.
a push-up bra because like girls wear the push-up bras to make them perkier, to push them up. So it gives the illusion of look how desirable and perky they are. So you like me more. But then if your strap breaks on one side, the one just goes boom, and then it's like the facade is ruined.
So most of these gaming sites are old floppy tits.
They didn't update their bra and the strap snapped, and now everybody knows the truth.
Big floppy tits. That's So launcher. A pair of,
I have a reason for that analogy, but I'm not going to talk about it. But anyway,
okay, the Washington. This is coming from IGN, which is eulogizing its peers at this point. Like all these gaming sites are writing articles about other gaming sites getting shut down daily. Gaming sites are getting shut down daily. The Washington Post is the latest publication to be struck by layoffs in the midst of a wave of ongoing reductions in the media and elsewhere, with its video game vertical among the casualties. As reported by the New York Times and Axios, the Washington Post is eliminating 20 newsroom positions while declining to fill 30 open positions. The layoffs include five members of Launcher, a video game-focused website that has been running since 2019. Oh my God, they're so old. Writing on Twitter.
I haven't heard of it.
Yeah, I know. Writing on Twitter, editor Mike Hume described the news as sad, upsetting, and perhaps most of all mind-boggling, saying that Launcher has attracted tens of millions of users.
Since 2019?
That seems suspect.
Oh, we didn't hear of it? I don't know. It might have. Who knows?
The majority first-time readers of the Post, and almost all of them under age 40. What makes this news so hard is that Launcher was doing well. In 22, Launcher's traffic was up year over year, even as Gene Park recovered from cancer. Sorry, he has cancer.
We recovered from it, apparently.
He recovered from it. So we were succeeding in our mission. I'm stunned, but mostly just sad to lose such wonderful, dedicated, caring colleagues.
Sadly, I hate to say it, even if it was doing well, and even it was, a lot of these things takes like 5 years, 3 to 5 years to become, set up and profitable. This one got 4 of those years. It's not uncommon that knee-jerk reaction is that the people that are sponsoring or paying for this stuff don't see the returns as fast as they think they should see the returns, and then hurry up and they're like, oh shit, and cut it loose.
Yeah, well, I mean, it could go either way. It could either be that they cut it loose, or like, okay, well, the site didn't do as well as we thought it would do in a year or two, or they let it linger too long and they're like, hey, we should have killed this site like 5 years ago because it's been around for like 15 years and ain't doing
right.
shit.
Well, this one, I think it's the first case because it's year over year it went up, and I think they just like, oh crap, we have to cut dead weight, so get rid of that.
Yeah, they said in the video game world, Launcher made a name for itself as a high-quality games media site with a focus on first-rate reporting, often taking the lead on difficult stories beyond the scope of traditional enthusiast press.
Well, wait, was it going to be like super political?
Probably.
If
it's Washington Post.
If it's super political, there's your answer.
It's the Washington Post, right?
It's the Rolling Stone of gaming journalism.
Yeah, it stood out as one of the few examples of serious games reporting in the legacy newspaper. So they're sunsetting it. It's not shutting down immediately, but it is being sunset. Launcher's closure. Okay, now here's where it gets scary, guys. Launcher's closure is part of a wave of layoffs that have also affected GameSpot, Giant Bomb, G4, Box, and numerous other outlets. Outside the media, tech giants like Microsoft and Google are among those making large cuts ahead of an anticipated recession. Anticipated recession. Bitch, recession's here.
Yeah.
Winter is here, motherfucker. It is here. In a memo to employees,
it's hitting a lot of people like the next day or two, especially.
Yeah,
because there's supposed to be snowstorms across the country.
In a memo to employees obtained by Axios, executive editor Sally Busby said that the layoffs were due to the economic climate and evolution is necessary for us to stay competitive.
Basically, you have to cut them loose so we can put money towards other things to stay afloat.
Yeah.
Until he sells it so he could go buy a sports team.
Yes, because that's where you rank. And look, and I'm not saying
I buy a sports team over in Washington Post too. I mean, give them a choice.
Look, gaming news sites are not important. And I've said this before, and they don't listen.
No, they're just pissed. They're salty.
Entertainment and video game sites have some of the lowest CPMs in all of banner advertising, right? Because they don't think the audience is really worth it. Because there's a lot of younger people that don't have disposable income. So they don't really, plus there are a lot of ad blocker, people use a lot of ad blockers on the site. They don't think that it's worth it.
Well, if you have disposable income and you're on a gaming site, it's probably because you want to buy more games.
Yes, but you probably already know what you're going to buy.
Right.
Because of YouTube. So anyway, just one last thing here. Hollywood Reporter, speaking of Microsoft and all that, Activision was going to unionize, right? And apparently that is not going to happen. They said the latest unionization attempt, a subsidiary of Activision Blizzard, has faltered.
Oh, it's the Communication Workers of America again?
Yeah, it is. With organizers blaming a number of CEO-led meetings with diminishing support for the drive. The Communication Workers of America, the labor group behind 2 previously successful union drives at the company, announced Tuesday that the group was withdrawing its petition for a union election at the National Labor Relations Board. Unfortunately, Proletariat CEO Seth Civic chose to follow Activision Blizzard's lead and responded to the workers' desire to form a union with confrontational tactics. Like many founders, he took the workers' concerns as a personal attack and held a series of meetings that demoralized and disempowered the group, making a free and fair election impossible.
Well, then I guess people, honestly, at this point, why would you still be working at Blizzard?
If you're really that concerned about doing the right thing, why are you at Blizzard? Because they did the wrong thing. And also, they're probably going to get gobbled up here pretty soon.
They like the proletariat word a lot.
They do. So yeah, it's like, look, it's not looking good to be in the video game industry. It's not looking good to be a video game journalist. I don't know what to tell you. It is what it is. I think, honestly, this is a market correction. I think there are way too many of these websites that aren't really bringing any value, and they're going to get gone. They're going to get snapped. So we're going to wrap this up.
Yeah.
Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. Guys, we'll talk later.
Bye.